All right, so here we're going to be taking a look at some images that were taken with a high ISO of 25,600. I found a neat little setting that has some nice color here in the foreground. And we're starting with the Nikon D7200, and again using the same lens, 70 to 200 millimeter. And of course my lens is at full zoom, set to 200 millimeter, and you can see the interesting grain pattern. But yet we still get nice color. And again, these were taken using auto white balance, aperture priority. And then as we switch to the Fujifilm X-T10, we're still on a tripod. And then of course here we're using the Fuji 50 to 140 millimeter lens. And again we're at f2.8 and also equally beautiful color. And again the same ISO, 25,600. So look at that, nice beautiful natural color. And then we also come up with a very similar grain pattern that you saw in the Nikon image. Now shooting at this high ISO can be very useful if you have to photograph in really low light situations, and something like this may be very useful when doing candids, whether you're at weddings or covering special events, sport photography, and even looking at this grain structure. It's kind of interesting, and the images, I believe, can be very useful in using these in their finished album. Now, there's a couple things that you can do when you have this kind of a grain structure. First of all, you can get rid of some of that if you give the image a soft focus effect, like I did here. This is the same image taken with the Fujifilm X-T10. And I gave this one a soft focus effect using a filter called Andromeda Scatterlight. And this is the soft focus. And you can also use any other soft focus program or even diffusion. You can use Gaussian blur in Photoshop if you like. But here you can see it's very, very soft focus, kind of interesting looking, and it just takes away some of the grain. Now something else you could do is just to convert that image like I did here into a slight brown sepia tone in Adobe Photoshop, and we still have that grain structure, and that's kind of interesting too. And many times if you have a kind of a neat effect, a nice grain structure, you can charge more for your product. And in this particular image I was using one of the Nikon Color Efex Pro filters. I believe it's called Color Stylizer. You can make the adjustment, you can vary it as you like, and we still have that interesting grain structure to it. And on this one here, I used, again, a filter, Nikon Color Efex Pro, and this is one of my favorites. This is the Monday morning filter. There's all different Monday morning filters you can use. You can use Monday morning, sepia, the regular, blue, I believe there's one called midnight. And also, by using some of these Monday morning filters, you can also add even more grain, like I did here. So anyway, I wanted you to see the difference when using these two camera systems at a super high ISO as we compare apples to oranges. And coming up, we're going to be taking a look at doing a studio portrait using these two systems. You don't want to miss that.